All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have to see if
Let
they
me
work
s-
for
Let me see.
those
here.
that. Alexa, sit down. Mhm.
The one we got up here now, that's
All right, everyone. Happy Friday morning. Shoot.
Mhm.
all of the max they have.
All right, all right, all right. We'll give it 1 minute to a lot more people to join, and we'll get started in 1 minute.
Those.
Basically.
Awesome.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Friday
Happy
just created
Friday.
Mhm.
some package
All
or
right, all right, all right.
Mhm.
I would think. So I can show you.
So So just a little side note, if any of you guys want a PDF for a copy of today's objections and the handler, go ahead and comment here on the chat, your email, and I will have my assistant email it to you, okay?
I'll let her know that.
Please go ahead and put your email on the chat, and we will
We
send you
will
a
get
PDF
together hopefully before
copy of the handlers for today.
lunch or something.
All right, all right, all right. Leo, good to see you again, buddy.
Hey, good to see you as well, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for hosting this valuable class. Super excited to hear from you. And yeah, I think everybody's microphones, if you guys can do a huge favor and just mute yourselves in the background. But thank you for hosting this, brother. Super excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're welcome. My pleasure. It's every time I go and do similar trainings, it takes me back to when I first started doing real estate, which is a good 8-9 years ago. And what a great reminder, Leo, that more than ever, right now, more than ever, that we have to go back to the basics. More than ever, people, listen, more than ever, we have to go back to the basics. I did my last business planning presentation for 2022 yesterday in Simi Valley for an office out there full of agents. And during the presentation, my message to them was, let's go back to the basics. It's going to be very important for some of us to go back to the basics, people. What are some of the basics? Getting back on the phone, hosting some great open houses, doing some door knocking, having that real good one-on-one conversations with your family members, with people you know. So going back to the basics, Leo, I'm sure you agree with me, brother. It's more than ever, it's very, very important. So this here, objection handling, knowing how to handle the most basic objections in the game of real estate sales, this is the basics. To me, this is the basics. This is how I started, learning the basics in real estate. So I'm very excited for today's training. And again, do me a huge favor. If you want the PDF copy of today's objections and objection handlers, go ahead and put it on the chat. My assistant should be here, and she's going to be emailing you guys the objections or the PDF printout. But I think we're ready to go. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to go, and we'll go and get the party started. All right, I got 2 thumbs up from Leo, so I guess we're good. We're good to go. So let's go ahead and get going with the very first one. Again, I want today's objections. My thought behind it was, how can I help people schedule more appointments? Because watch, in our industry, in sales, in real estate sales, your very first goal should be, how can I get in front of more people? How can I get in front of more possible sellers? How can I get in front of more possible buyers? And the step number 1 is to schedule an appointment. Now, many of us, we're going to get objections when we try to call some of these sellers and buyers to schedule an appointment. And today I'm going to cover three very common objections that you're most likely going to hear when you get on the phone to try to schedule some of these appointments. So I'm going to cover one at a time, and I'll start with the first one, which is, call me back in a month. Who's ever heard that one? Leo, I'm sure you heard this one like thousands of times, right, brother?
Oh, 100%. Call me. Yeah. Can you call me back in a month? Yeah. All the time. All the time. Very common objection.
Call
That's
me
a
back in a month, call me back later. I mean, it's the same objection in laid out or said to you in a different way. Call me back in a month, call me back in a week, call me back later this afternoon. It's kind of like the same objection, but today I'm going to teach you guys how to handle this one here, which is very common. Okay, call me back in a month. Let me see if I could see some people here. Kat, Liz, it looks like you're paying attention, Liz. I'm looking at you. How many times have you heard this objection in your career?
A lot.
A lot. Good. All right, Liz. So you and I, we're going to role play this bad boy
Oh,
today,
shit.
okay?
Okay.
All right. So you're going to give me this exact objection, and then I'm going to go ahead and handle this objection. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, JJ, thank you for the call, but just give me a call in about a month, and we can talk then.
Okay, I hear you, Liz. So you want me to call you back in a month, right?
Yes.
Got it. Well, listen, Liz, I could definitely call you back in a month. However, I will much rather be having you sign in an offer in a month. Wouldn't you?
I just want to see what the market does. All these changes, I think after the new year, we'll see where the market is. So I'll be ready then.
Okay, I totally understand. Now, Liz, you did say that for sure you're gonna sell your house. Is that correct?
Yeah, we definitely need to sell.
Got it. Well, listen, because you do need to sell, why don't we just meet anyways? Let me show you what the market is doing now. That way you know what you could go ahead and be facing if you decided to list your property now versus later. Now, after you and I meet, if you still decide and you feel like waiting till next month is the best thing for you and your family to do, then listen, I will definitely come back in a month. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay, now listen. I just need all of you guys to understand that an objection is kind of like, in many cases, it's a way to test you, to challenge you, and to see where you're at as far as your skill set and how determined and how hungry you are about sending disappointment, or in this case, meaning with the prospect. See, in many cases, Liz, what happens is that when they throw an objection at us, we freeze. Has that ever happened where like they throw an objection and like you just did not expect that objection, you freeze and you're like, oh, and people start stuttering, it freezes you and you go, like you go in a pause for like 5-10 seconds without knowing what to say. It happens. What I am trying to teach you guys is that it doesn't really matter the objection, because you're going to learn the objection handler. What really matters here is how you approach the objection. It's a mindset. It really is. So I teach people, watch, every time they throw an objection at you, practice this on the phone. Smile. When you hear an objection, smile. Do the complete opposite of what they think that you're going to do, which most of agents do. They're smiling on the phone thinking they're going to have a listing appointment, and they get hit with this objection, and now their face goes from a smile to like, and their cheeks start shaking. You start getting nervous. You don't know what to say, right? It happens to everyone. So I need you guys to understand that when you are handling an objection, it's how you handle the objection, how you receive the objection. Are you thinking about an objection as a, oh my God, this is it, I lost this appointment? Or are you looking at it as all right, I'm on the phone, I'm closing for the appointment. Most likely they're going to give me at least 1 or 2 objections. It's okay. I know how to handle them. Give it to me. You understand? Now it becomes now it comes like a game. You just like, you don't want an objection, but if they give an objection, you're all right. You're just going to smile. You're going to start nodding your head like you're doing right now. And you're going to say, yeah, I totally understand. We could definitely call you back in a month. However, Liz, I would much rather be having you sign a contract. Wouldn't you? Like, wouldn't you want to be signing a contract rather than waiting a month? You did say that you needed to sell, correct? Yes, I did, JJ. You did say that you wanted to capitalize on the market, correct? Yes, I did, JJ. You did say you wanted to make sure you work with qualified and excited, motivated buyers, correct? Yes, I did, JJ. Good. I'm available today or tomorrow. Which is best for you? You go for the close. Now, Liz and the rest of the people on this chat, on the Zoom, I want you guys to understand that as soon as you handle the objection, I need you to go for the close. Understand, people, I need you to go for the close. Do not handle the objection and don't say anything, because now you're going to have that awkward silence. And that awkward silence, if you don't know how to break it, it's really going to throw you off. It's going to throw them off, and now it's just awkward. And now it's like, I'm just going to hold off. So it's very important that you handle the objection, and right away, without even you thinking about it, I want you to go for the close one more time. Liz, so I could go ahead and meet you this afternoon or over the weekend. What's best for you? Boom, you close right away. Well, I think, yeah, I definitely can't do it today. Maybe in the weekend. Okay, good. What are you thinking? Saturday or Sunday? Sunday, because my husband's going to be home. Good. We could do it either in the morning or afternoon. What do you think's best for you and your husband? Oh, maybe in the afternoon. Okay, good. I could do like maybe 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. What's better for you? 3 o'clock. Good. I'm going to pencil you in for Sunday, 3 p.m. Now, before I come out, I'm just going to ask you some very important questions so I can better prepare for my appointment. Fair enough? Fair enough. Boom, you close.
Alexa,
Do you
stop.
guys understand? Like, I want you guys to close when you get an objection and when you handle the objection. Close right away. Go for the close. Go for the close. Again, this objections that I'm covering today, this will be objections that you're most likely going to get in on the phone.
Yes, absolutely.
Very, how do you say it? This objections are very normal. You're going to hear them 1,000 times in your career if you're constantly aggressively on the phone or trying to set those appointments. Leo, am I right or am I right?
Oh, 100% spot on, man. And honestly, I get excited about these topics because it's like a little, like you get a little challenge right in the way. But I want you to reframe objections as well, right? Objections are just questions. That's all they are. They're just questions. Like they're not like this whole negative thing. It's a question that you just need to acknowledge and you need to pivot. So those are the two things that you want to do. You want to acknowledge and you want to pivot. When somebody says, hey, I can call you, can you call me back in a month? I go and say, I can definitely call you back in a month. By the way, what was the motivation of you trying to sell? Right? You want to acknowledge and you pivot to your question and get their motivation, and then go like what JJ is saying, go for the close, set the appointment. But what he said earlier too was like really true, right? You can't freeze. You can't freeze because it's like a boxer. When you freeze, you put your hands down and they're gonna knock you with every single objection. You gotta hit back right away. You control the conversation by asking them questions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, team, understand that you have to understand and you have to acknowledge and you have to know that you are the one in charge of this call. You are the professional. Watch. Write this down if you guys taking notes or take a mental note. The person asking the questions is the person in charge, leading the conversation. The person asking the question is the person in charge and leading the conversation. You have to ask yourself, am I going to be the leader? Am I going to lead this call? Or am I going to lead, or I'm going to allow the seller or the buyer to take over this call? Because when when the prospect, when they take over the call, they start hitting you with question after question, meaning objection after objection. Now you may be able to handle the first two. What if the third question you don't know how to answer? Boom, you're out. You understand? So I need you guys to take control of your calls. Remember, you are the professional here. You're the one in charge. You are the leader. You're going to be the one literally controlling all the conversation. And the way you do that is not by telling them, it's by asking great questions. You see, I went and I handled this objection. You gave me an objection after that, and I went and asked a few questions after that list. You did say you wanted to sell, correct? Yes, you did say you wanted to capitalize on the market, correct? You did say you wanted to make sure that you work with qualified, motivated buyers, correct? Yes. Boom, boom, boom. 3 questions after that. Boom, close after that. You see that? Based on their motivation. Now, I expect and I hope that before you get to this part, you already know something about the prospect. You already know something about the buyer, the seller, meaning the motivation. Because if you don't have any motivation to close, then you can't really close. You really can't close. I mean, you could try, but you really can't. Now, every time they give you a little pushback, you're going to be able to go back to the motivation and say, Liz, I get it. You did say you wanted to capitalize on the market, then you, yes, I did, JJ. Well, good. Do you see what is going on with the market? You think the market is going up, or the thing of the market staying there, or is dropping? No, I see the market dropping. You did say you wanted to capitalize, correct? Yes, I did. Well, do you think the market is going to drop in a month from now? Yes or no? Could there be a possibility you're losing $5,000, $10,000 in the next 30 days? There could be. You don't want to lose $5,000, $10,000, do you? No, I don't. Good. Let's meet today. I'm available today or the weekend. What's best for you? Boom, you go for another close. You understand? So this is a great way. This is a great way to come back to that objection. Call me back in a month. I could definitely call you back in a month, but I would much rather be having you sign an offer in a month. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be best for you and your family? Isn't this what you want? You get me? There's many ways that you close the last part of your objection handler based on what you know their motivation is. You understand? Liz, any question on this one here?
No, thank you.
All right. Again, please, if you're here and if you'd like to get a copy of the PDF printout, go ahead and put your email in the chat, and my assistant will email you the copy of that PDF format. She's right here. All right, we're going to go on to the next one. I'm going to look for someone else. Let me see who is in the house. All right, I'm gonna look for a gentleman here. Anyone here, a gentleman, please unmute yourself. I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself so we could do role play this one here. All right, anyone, any gentleman that's on today's Zoom. Anyone?
I could do it. I could do it if nobody else is doing it. I'm willing to do it, bro.
All right, Leo. Let's do it now. Watch, team. This is a reminder to all of you. Everyone that's on this Zoom. I assume you're a real estate professional, real estate agents, meaning you are salespeople. You can't be shy, people. If you're shy, if you are shy to jump on this little interaction on Zoom. Houston, we got problems.
Yes.
Keeping it very real with you guys. Keeping it very real with you. Okay. You can't be shy. As a matter of fact, if going live or just role playing with me makes you uncomfortable, good. That means you have to do it. It's gonna push you. It's gonna get you uncomfortable. What do you think is gonna happen when we get on the phone with these buyers and sellers? It's gonna make you uncomfortable. The more comfortable you get being uncomfortable, the better you're gonna perform. The more sales you're gonna do, the more listing appointments you're gonna set, the more closings and that's what you're gonna do by the end of the year. People, get uncomfortable, okay? I'm helping you guys with this whole thing. This is for you, okay? Leo, let's go and role play this one, buddy.
Yes, sir. And one thing I will say to that, what you just said, brother, it's just so perfect. I want you guys to sweat in practice so you don't bleed in battle.
Say that again.
Yeah, and I took this, by the way, from my buddy Jose Sumano, so I'm going to quote him on it. Sweat in practice so you won't bleed in the battle, right? I think I said it that way.
Wow. What people, listen. There's some truth behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, sweat. Like right now, you got to be uncomfortable. Sweat in this battle, like with sweat in this practice. So when you're in the battle, you're not bleeding, right? Like
right.
you're gonna prepare yourself. But go.
Please, please, people. All right, Leo, let's go to role play number 2, buddy.
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna need to talk about, talk to my spouse. So let me think about it, man.
I completely get it, Leo. Well, if your spouse would be open to meeting with us, what day are you and your spouse usually together?
I gotta have to check with her, but yeah, usually on Tuesdays, are usually our off days.
Tuesdays, usually your off days. Well, listen, why don't we do this, Leo? Let's go ahead and pencil you in for Tuesday. Now, I could do in the morning or afternoon. What I want to do is pencil you in on my schedule for Tuesday, either morning or afternoon. I want you to go back and talk to your wife.
I think I want to check with
Yep.
her.
Talk to your wife, and once she confirms we are good to go with meet with JJ, then I want you to just text me back and just shoot me the word confirm. Then I know we are on for Tuesday. But for now, I want to definitely go and put you on my schedule for next Tuesday, because that's the day that both you and your wife are usually together. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, good. So what do you think? Tuesday morning or afternoon?
Usually in the afternoons.
Okay, well, what are you thinking? Like a 2 or 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock better.
Got it. I'm gonna go. As a matter of fact, I'm running you down right now on my schedule. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Again, remember, don't forget to ask your wife if she's okay with this. But once she agrees to meet with a local agent that's going to help you guys get top dollar for your home and capitalize in today's market, then just shoot me the word confirm. Fair enough?
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. Fair enough. And thank you. Then I kind of want to think about it though, JJ.
No, I get it. Listen, I want you and your wife to think about it.
Okay.
Once we meet and I show you what we have to offer, value proposition to you selling your home now versus later, I definitely, if you guys want to think about it after, you're more than welcome to. Now, however, if you ask me for my pen after my presentation, I will definitely be more than willing to give you my pen so you can go ahead and put me to work. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, sounds good, Leo. I'll expect that text from you, okay?
All right, you got it. Thank you, JJ.
You're welcome. Boom, 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 boom. Fire, people. You have to be on top of it, on top of it, on top of it. How do you get good at something, people? It's like Leo said, you sweat, you practice. You sweat during practice, meaning you want to do this repetitions over and over and over again to the point where you're just like, it's second nature.
Yep.
It's like whatever to you. You're not going to think about it, you're just going to react. Like, once you memorize something, watch. When learning a script or an objection handler, and like right now, your job is to read it, to practice, role play to the point where you memorize it. And once you memorize it, I want you to internalize the script. Because once it's internalized, now you can make it your own. Now you could tweak it. Now you can go up, low, pause, faster. I mean, you can literally mirror their personality. You can mirror their tonality. I mean, you can take it anywhere you want once you internalize a script. How do you do that? You practice, you practice, you practice, you practice, one after another, one after another.
Yes.
Questions on this? What do you think about this one, brother?
I think I just want to acknowledge the fact that, like, when you guys saw JJ handling the objections, you guys noticed that he acknowledged it and then he went to ask the question, right? And what he said earlier, he's demonstrating what you just said, right? It's like he's right away leading into that question, because again, you want to just make sure that you heard what they said, but he pivoted, he kept pivoting, right? So one of the things that I will also help you guys to note is that you guys have to get excellent at answering the question without answering the question.
That's right. Very, very important. So in other words, don't repeat word by word what they just said, right? So listen to it. And this is very key when handling objections or talking to a prospect. We have to learn how to become great listeners. Great listeners, because a lot of time we ask a question which is part of our job, but we are so concerned about the next question. What if they ask me another question and now you're looking at your script that you forget to pay attention to what they answer based on your question. So a great salesperson is someone that knows how to ask great questions, but even a better salesperson is someone that knows how to listen to the answer. Make sure that you are 1,000% aware that in order for you to become a great agent, a salesperson, you have to know how to ask great questions, and you have to learn how to listen to the answer. Okay. So any questions on this one? And again, I'm going to go back to it just in case you guys missed it. Number 2, let me talk to my spouse. Let me think about it. This is a very common one. Very common one. By the way, I just want you guys to understand that this is a way for them to kind of brush you off, for them to be like, oh, okay, like, you know, this is a way for them not to commit to meeting with you. Your job is to set that appointment. That's your job. That's your number 1 job. Number 1 goal is to set that appointment. You're going to do the close once you present to them, once you're in front of them. Right now, your number 1 goal is to set that appointment. Good. Let me talk to my spouse. No, I get it, Leo. I get you want to talk to your wife. Well, listen, this, and by the way, this is a great way to close them, to corner them to agree to meeting with you. Well, listen, if your spouse will be open to meeting, what day are you both usually together? You're not saying, listen, okay, I get it. Call me back after you talk to them. No. You're saying, listen, I get it. There's got to be a day during the week that both you and your spouse are usually together, correct? Well, yeah. What day is that? A Tuesday? Okay. Well, listen, why don't we just meet on Tuesday? And after we meet, if you decide that you still want to think about it, you're more than welcome to. However, if you ask me to represent you on the sale of your home, will it be okay if I say yes to you? This is a good one that I used to use. Like that was a ninja move from JJ. That was a ninja move. And every time I used to say it, Leo used to throw people off.
Yeah.
They'll be like, what do you mean? I'm going to ask you. Yeah, you're going to be like, is it okay? Like after my presentation, Leo, if you ask me to represent you and be your listing agent, is it okay if I say yes to you? People wouldn't really like
Wait,
what the, like, oh shit, this guy's a different level. You understand? Because a lot of times sellers and buyers think that we're hungry and thirsty for their listing. Well, listen, I was hungry, but never thirsty. You understand? So I would let them know, listen, I'm going to come, I'm going to show you what we could do different. And at the end of my presentation, is it okay if I say to you, yes, if you ask me to represent you as your listing agent? Every single time it will throw people off. So again, this is a way for you to kind of like just get yourself in there without sounding a little too thirsty. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go to the third one. All right, I'm gonna look. Daniel, you had a question, buddy. Go for it.
Yes. So when you ask the person, okay, well, text me confirm once your wife say yes. What about if that they don't text you back, or how about they say, well, you know what, they text you now and say, you know, we can't this week or next week, or my wife says no. How do you? And now you're trying to call them and they're not responding. And now it's just through text.
Absolutely. That's why I watch. If you notice, I went for the close. I've kind of forced the prospect to give me a date and a time. You understand? You want to make sure that they give you a date at the time. Now, listen, after a day went by and he or she didn't text you with a confirm, then what do I want you to do? I want you to be an aggressive agent and follow up. What will that follow-up sound like, Daniel? Hey, Daniel, how you doing? This is JJ. Hey, listen, I just wanted to make sure that I did not miss your text. I didn't see it on my inbox. I just want to make sure we're still good for Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Are we still good for yeah? Okay, good.
Sure.
All right, got it. You understand what I'm saying, Daniel?
Yeah, but what about if they don't answer? Because you know, I get that on a sometimes that happens. They see your number, they saved, and they like, I'm not gonna answer because now they're scared to tell you no, don't come, right?
That is okay. Watch, I'm gonna teach you guys something that I learned very early in my career. I need you guys to not be attached to the outcome. Don't be attached to the outcome. What does that mean, people? That means that, listen, we can't get them all. I want you guys to handle all the objections that they throw at you, but you also understand you can't get them all. Now, that doesn't mean for you to stop trying. No, I am saying that if after you tried all this and you did all this and that, and if you still, they ghosted you and they like blocked you, then I mean, it is what it is, right? But I don't want you to stop following up. A great way to follow up nowadays is with a video. Watch. You can get your phone. And record yourself. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? This is Jay. I hope everything's going well. Listen, I just want to make sure I did not miss your message with you confirming for an appointment on Tuesday. Please go ahead and shoot me back a message or call me. Let me know we're still on. Other than that, I'll see you there on Tuesday. Okay, buddy? Take care. Boom. Man, that's a powerful message. You are showing so many things with a video. You are showing them that, listen, you are committed, that your follow-up and that your follow game, it's strong, and that you really are not timid to follow up and to do what you got to do to make sure that you're confirming their appointment. Now and ever, people, you can't be shy.
Yeah.
I am telling you, you cannot be shy, people.
Yeah, because I even was thinking, well, since you didn't answer, say, oh, yeah, I think, just unconfirm, I'll see you at 11. And just, if they don't answer, just go and knock the door at 11 on Tuesday.
You have no idea how many appointments I went to without a confirmation.
Yeah.
I just, if we already agreed on it, make no mistake about it, especially if I have no other business or no other appointments, my ass is going to be at your door knocking at Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Yeah, 100%.
I would add to that, bro. I would say like the video, what JJ said, that's spot on, because that's going to help you to connect it. Like, okay, this is a human being. And I bet you 99% of everybody else didn't even send the video. And then if they don't respond to that, you could even say, hey, I want to make sure I don't drop the ball, right? I usually get a response with, I want to make sure I don't drop the ball. Does 11 a.m. still work? And then the following text would be, I'm on the way. What's your favorite cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Dude, that's perfect.
You guys understand there's so many ways that you can go about after you schedule that appointment. But what I really need you guys to understand is that once you set an appointment, the appointment's on, unless they call and they text you, hey, listen, cancel, decide not to sell, whatever. Then, I mean, at that point, you could just choose to, all right, go, not go, or not pursue it. I myself, I believe that when they say no, that means no, not now, but follow up later. That's in my head. That's how I see it. That's how I hear it. So I'm going to follow up in a different way, maybe some other day. That makes sense? So it's, again, it's the way you handle the objection and how you go about everything we do in sales that's really going to make a difference in your sales.
Thank you, Jay.
You're very welcome. So Daniel, since I do have you here, let's go ahead and role play number 3, buddy.
Yes, Jay, you know what? We already have another agent in mind. Actually, my wife has a friend who, I believe she's a real estate agent, and she wants to go with her.
Hey, Daniel, I get it. Most people do. I appreciate that. Daniel, most people do. Why don't we just meet anyways? And if what I'm doing is not day and night different from what they are doing, you could just go ahead and hire your wife's friend. Fair enough?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Okay, good. So what are you thinking? I could go either today or maybe tomorrow. What do you think is best for you and your wife?
Probably will be tomorrow.
Tomorrow, morning or afternoon?
Morning, because we had things going on in the afternoon.
In the morning, got it. So
yeah, morning.
In the morning or afternoon?
No, morning.
Morning. So I could be there either at 9 or 11. What do you think's best?
I think 11 will be perfect, and bring a cup of coffee.
Okay, beautiful. So what kind of coffee you drink? I'll go and stop by Starbucks and bring some for you.
Just black coffee.
Black coffee. How about your wife?
Straight up. She's more fancy. I'll text you what she wants.
Sounds good. Just make sure you text me. But listen, I'm very excited to and looking forward to meeting you and your wife. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Thank you, JJ.
All right, boom. Now, people, listen, this is a great way to acknowledge, Daniel, that I heard what you're saying. Most people have someone else. Most people have a family member that has a real estate license. Most people know someone in the business.
Yeah.
Why don't we just meet anyways, Daniel? And listen, buddy, if what I am doing it's not day and night different than what they're doing, you could just go ahead and hire them. Fair enough?
Fair enough. That's really good. That's really good.
Now, why is this good, team? This is good because you are saying, listen, I like the fact that you have options, but why don't we just meet anyways? Let me show you what I do different. And if at the end of everything, if you feel that what I'm doing is not any different than what your wife's friend is doing, you just go ahead and hire them. It's like kind of like saying, I'm good with that. You understand?
Yeah.
Any question on that one, Daniel?
No, I think it was perfect. I think the acknowledgement. I think everybody wants to be acknowledged and heard, and I think that's what I'm hearing is that's the key. The key is be great listeners and acknowledge, not just listening to the client, but also acknowledge that you are actually paying attention to what they're saying and not pushing anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, listen, people. Again, remember you have to be aggressive. Okay. I much rather lose a buyer or seller for being too aggressive than losing a buyer or seller for the lack of aggressiveness. I lost, I think, 1 or 2 in the beginning of my career, and it hurt so bad because I was not aggressive enough, because I thought I was going to be too pushy or too salesy, and I was afraid to the outcome. What did they think I'm pushing too hard? Well, it only took 1 or 2 appointments or 2 listings for me to lose to change my mindset. After that, I said, no more. I'm going to be very aggressive. And if people don't want to work with me because I'm a bit too aggressive, then I'm okay with that. I'd much rather lose someone because I'm too aggressive than not being aggressive enough. Because it sucks when you know that you could have taken that listing and you went to a listing presentation, and 2 weeks later they listed with somebody else because you did not follow up after that listing appointment. After they told you, let me think about it, come back to me later, and you didn't follow up because you thought it was too aggressive. Okay, so people, we went over 3 different objections that you most likely will hear when you're on the phone scheduling some of these appointments. Understand your number 1 job, your number 1 goal is to schedule that appointment. How do you schedule appointments? By handling at least 1 to 2 objections that they're going to throw at you. It's normally 1 or 2. I don't think I ever got no more than 2. Leo, how about you?
No, they don't usually do more than 2, and that's why this practice is so essential, right? We are being trained and developed to answer questions and ask them questions, right? So all you got to do is continue to ask questions until they run out of gas. They're not trained professionals like you. They're not sitting in a Zoom, sitting there with their friends and like, hey, this is how we're going to say no to that realtor that calls me. They're not sitting down and doing that. We're sitting here though, training and developing ourselves and saying, hey, these are how we're going to answer those questions. They'll run out of gas after 2. That's what I usually have found.
Absolutely. I think for the most part, yeah, I mean, you'll get 2 objections. If you're very good and you handle the first objection with such conviction and with this knowledge, they're going to put their guard down after the first one. Or they're going to be, yeah, I definitely don't want to work with this agent after the first one based on how you handle the objection. Again, most people, when they get hit with an objection, they freeze. They start stuttering. Boom,
Yes.
lost it.
Yes.
You understand? So always be prepared. When you're on the phone, expect for them to throw an objection at you. It's all right. You are trained, you're a professional, you're training for this, you're waiting for it. You want them to give it to you. You understand why? Because you practice so many times that objection or objections in this case. So again, learn that you want to handle the right objection, you want to handle all objections, and your job is to close immediately right after you handle the objection. Now, prepare for objections after the fact, because once you're in front of them, they may throw another objection, like a commission objection, right? We covered that last week or 2 weeks ago, right? Well, what's your commission? You know, my commission 100% negotiable. Yeah, but how much do you charge? Well, how much do you want to pay me? That's a great way to handle that one, people. You throw it right back at them, and they're not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And in the game of sales and negotiating, the person that throws out the first number loses.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, well, how much do you charge? I'd never like to tell them, oh, 7%, because I'll like 7% listings right here, right? I never used to like to say that. I would just say, listen, well, my commission 100% negotiable. We'll go ahead and talk about that when we meet. Now, once we're in front of this, in the dining table, well, JJ, what's your commission? It's a great question. How much you want to pay me? Well, I mean, can you do this? I sure can. However, let me ask you a question. What is it that you're looking for in a real estate listing agent? You're looking for a discount agent, someone that has the value, the knowledge, the marketing, the training, the everything, or looking for someone that just going to put up a for sale sign and hoping, praying to the real estate gods that you're probably sells and that you get a good offer? Well, no, JJ, I want to make sure I hire the right agent. I want to make sure I get top dollar. I want to make sure all the market is on point. I want to make sure, good. That's why people like you hired me. Listen, I'm going to boom, 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 sign here.
Yep.
You can literally, like, we don't drop the mic. In our industry, we drop the pen, right? And they pick it up and they sign it.
Exactly.
All right. Any questions? I'm just going to do a small little Q&A for any questions on the 3 objections that we handle, or any objections that you could think of. Shoot me. There's no objection you could throw at me that I will not be able to handle right now.
There was somebody that typed in, bro. It says, you know what? Can you call me in a month? My spouse is sick. Objection.
Watch. So that's a beautiful one. Watch, people understand. There's 2 ways you're gonna go about this one. All right. One is handling an objection, and another one a condition. Listen to what I just said. Two different things. One is an objection, and the other one is a condition. A condition is something that really we can't do a whole lot about that. Understand? An objection is a, well, listen, if you know, I have my buddy that is willing to list my house for 4%. That's an objection. If you handle it right, you most likely take the listing. But a condition is, listen, JJ, I wanna sell. However, I have to wait for my oldest daughter to graduate from high school. She's on her last year. She don't want to relocate. She's not ready to go out of state until she finishes high school. That's a condition. That's not an objection. It's a condition. In this case, what that person said, Leo, that sounds to me like it's a condition. I mean, you can't really say, well, is your wife really sick?
Yeah. Yeah. You could, and what you could do is, like, you could obviously, you just go to the acknowledgement part, right? You're like, you know what? My prayers to your spouse, to your husband. I hope that, you know, he feels better. And when he does feel better, are you still committed to selling the property, right? So you kind of, I think you want to acknowledge it and then pivot it to the question of, like, getting their goals, because you just want to acknowledge the fact, obviously, like, hey, you know what? I'm selling, you know, healing energy to your husband. I hope he gets better.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, people, again, learn how to listen to to what they are saying to you, because there's a big difference between an objection and a condition. Okay, now if it's a condition, like Leo said, acknowledge it. And if there's a way that you could go ahead and circle back around it and just kind of also have them commit to an appointment after the fact or something like that, you know, you could kind of ask them, well, Leo, I get it. You know, I hope your wife gets better soon. Now I just want to make sure before I let you go, and again, I just hope your wife gets soon fast, sooner than later. I just want to make sure on my notes so I can follow up in the right timing. You did say that you wanted to sell, the sooner the better, to move to Arizona. Is that right, Leo?
Yeah, you know, that is right. Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Okay, good. So, and you did say that the only thing that was stopping you, obviously now, you know, your wife got sick and you want to make sure that all three of us connect them at your house. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this, Leo, and this is the last question. When do you think I should follow up with you? Do you think maybe in a couple of days or in a week?
You know, I think it's just a light flu. So I think, you know, give me a couple of days. It's fine.
Got it. Leo, listen, my prayers to your wife. Let me know if there's anything I could do for you guys, but I will follow up in a couple of days. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Thank you so much.
Boom.
Yes.
Now listen, I will not follow up in a couple of days. I'll follow up probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whatever time frame they give you, I want you to cut it by half.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always going to be a more aggressive person that's kind of be more aggressive than you. I will much rather lose a listing or a sell because I'm being too aggressive than not being aggressive enough. Because if Leo said, yeah, I don't know, follow with me or come back to me in 2-3 days from now. Well, what if Daniel called tomorrow and Daniel did not know that Leo's wife was sick, but tomorrow Leo's wife felt better and now they're ready to meet with someone. Can he take the listing? Yes or no? Yes, he can. So whatever time they tell you, follow up with me in a week or in a month, I want you guys automatically cut it by half. Okay. Hey, Leo, good morning, good afternoon, brother. Listen, I just wanted to call and see how your wife is doing. Is she feeling any better than yesterday?
Yeah, you know what? She is feeling much better, actually. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Now, is she feeling good to where perhaps we can meet this afternoon?
Later this afternoon might not work. Yeah, I think it's a little too soon.
Okay, got it. So why don't we do this? We can't meet this afternoon. Why don't we set an appointment for tomorrow, Saturday, say morning or afternoon? What do you think will be best for you and your wife?
You know what? I think Saturday would be good in the morning.
Okay, got it. I have either a 9 or 11 o'clock opening for you guys. What do you think is good?
11 o'clock is fine.
Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and pencil you in for tomorrow, Saturday at 11 a.m. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Sounds great.
Awesome. See you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boom, boom, boom. You see what happened? I didn't wait no 2-3 days. I followed right away.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Any questions? Now's the time for you to unmute yourself. By the way, people, I hope everyone got good value out of today's training. I believe that we're going to come back and start and continue doing some more objection handling sometime beginning next year. And but in the meanwhile, if any of you guys want to connect with me directly, that's my handle right there. You could go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at the jj.jara. And I will love to help you guys with any other objections. Maybe there's an objection that we have not covered yet, but it throws you off every single time. Shoot it to me.
Hey,
Send me
JJ.
a DM and say, JJ, this is an objection. Can you help me with this one?
Yes.
I'll shoot it back to you. And your job is going to be, again, to write it down, practice it, learn it, internalize it to the point where now you could just, without any thought, you could just shoot it. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, JJ. So let's say that we call a potential listing, so it's a listing appointment, and then they say that they already spoke with the realtor and that they're beginning the process, but they still haven't signed anything. But they just verbally tell me, hey, you know, you called a little too late. I'm already starting with someone else. And then, of course, we ask them, well, did you sign anything? You know, and they say no. How do you handle that?
Good. I want you to close and go to the appointment right away. So they already said they're already speaking to someone, they already committed to someone, yet they have not signed the contract. Good. That means that ethically and legally, you still go and go after that listing appointment. You get me? Once
Yeah.
they sign, then ethically, you got to step away. Legally, you got to step away. But if they have not signed with someone, then I need you to close. Hey, Louis, listen, I understand you already made up your mind. However, you did say that you have not signed the contract. Is that correct, Louis?
Yeah, that's correct.
Got it. Hey, listen, I'm going to be in your part of town this afternoon. Let me swing on by and drop off my listing presentation. That way you and your wife can see what we do different and why people like you hire us. More than ever, who you hire matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You do want to make sure you hire the right agent, correct?
Yeah.
You do want to make sure you explore your options before you commit to such a great and such important commitment. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop by this afternoon, drop off the package. What time do you think you're gonna be home so I could drop it off and hand it to you personally?
You know what? We're talking about it, and we might just wait till January, till the
Okay.
new year.
To January. Okay, got it. Well, listen, I'm sure because you decided to wait to January, there's a few reasons why you decided to wait to January. Is that correct?
Yeah, just the holidays. We don't want to sell right now during the holidays.
I get it. Team, we covered this one last call. Listen, most people that want to sell their property during the holidays think the same way. I'm going to go ahead and stop by, drop off the package, and just give you some advantages of you listing and selling your home during the holidays. Now, talk about it with your wife. If you guys feel like this is a great plan of action for you guys to capitalize on the market, list now rather next year, then we could definitely talk about how you and I could work together. Fair enough?
That's good, man.
All right. I'll see you this afternoon.
Let's do
Boom!
it.
Ninja.
Yep. Love it.
Was that helpful, Luis?
Oh yeah, very helpful. That brought a lot of clarity to a conversation because I'm trying to pick up this listing and it was literally the same conversation. So I'm gonna follow up today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Take that listing, brother. You got this. Any other questions? Any other questions?
I think we're good. And
We're good, Leo?
I think we're good. Yeah. The only thing I would add to that conversation would literally be that you're literally just telling them like when they tell me, hey, I'm going to wait a month. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Well, it's really amazing because that way we can meet and brainstorm a great plan to really get it in position in the market in the next month, right? So you just agree, you get excited about it. And when you get face to face, you can get into all of the reasons why it's the best time to do it now. But that's just like fantastic. Yes. But I want you guys to notice one thing, that JJ's confidence and tonality and clarity, right? That's what's going to set up the appointment because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for aggressive professionals that are going to be able to answer their questions. And that's how they're going to, you know what, JJ's going to represent me this way in the marketplace. So it's very important that you guys are using the tonality as well. That way the individual that you're trying to represent says, this is the guy or this is the gal, right? Like this is.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, I think that's a wrap. Yes, Leo?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Again, everyone, thank you so much for being on this training today. If you want to go ahead and send me a message, that's my Instagram handle. Go ahead and send me a message with your most troubling objection that you've ever heard or that you perhaps want to learn. Shoot it to me via DM and I'll love to help you guys out. Other than that, let's go.
All right. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All righty.